Okay, so these are the list of neck stretches, including the neck, forelimb and hind limb stretches that you're going to need to know for your exams. So we're going to show you how you're going to need to do these. With the neck stretches ones, if you're needed to do a neck stretch in the exams, we will make sure that you have got bait to be able to do them. Because in dogs you're probably going to need to bait them, because obviously you can't bend them round like you would a horse, so you're going to need to use a treat. So we're going to do extension first of the neck. So this is going to obviously help to stretch all your ventral muscles. So you're going to ask the dog to look up towards the ceiling. Then dorsal ventral, so you're going to come in between the forelimbs and ask the dog to bend round. Then you're going to do lateral, so you're going to ask the dog to bend towards the rib cage. And the other side. So they're going to obviously do all your cervical neck muscles that are involved with head elevation and lateral movement. So we're going to go on to the stretches of the forelimb. So the first one is forelimb protraction. So the biggest mistake students make with stretching is they go straight into rom hand positions. It's completely different for stretching. You're just there to support the dog. You should never be pulling, you should be pushing. So forelimb protraction. Helen's got one hand behind the back of the elbow, the other supporting the carpus, and just gently asking the dog to push into extension. Then we've got forelimb retraction. So you're going to support the dog around the shoulder and then just take it back gently into extension. Then we've got tricep stretch. You're going to fully flex up the limb and then just gently push forwards. You're going to get a really small movement with a tricep stretch. Common mistake, which Helen will just show you here, is students don't flex the triceps up enough, so flex the paw up enough, and then it basically just becomes a protraction stretch. So you need to make sure you keep it flexed. Then we've got abduction stretch. So this is where you flex the leg up, but you keep it in a linear line. So as Helen's doing here, so she's flexed it up, kept in a line, and then she's just bringing it out from the midline, okay? So she's supporting the elbow, supporting the forearm, but obviously not over flexing the carpus, and just bringing it out gently from the midline. The next one is the hind limb stretches. So we've got a hind limb retraction stretch. So it's all about support now, so you don't need to worry about palpating the joint. So you're just going to gently flex up, push from the cranial part of the stifle, supporting the tarsus, and take it back into extension. Then for hind limb protraction is flexing up, supporting round the stifle, and then just from the back of the tarsal, pushing forwards. You can see that Helen's got her hand quite high up there. That's to stop them from jolting the stifle upwards. You'll find that out when you do this in class, that they like to sort of flick the stifle up so you can't get it into extension. Then we're going to do a quadriceps stretch. So we're going to flex up and then push from the cranial part of the stifle backwards, very gently. Again, with this one, if you've got it fully flexed, you shouldn't be able to take it into extension. So Helen's just shown you there. Again, students that don't fully flex it up and then try and take it back out into extension, and it just becomes a hind limb extension stretch and not a quadriceps stretch. And then the last one is a hind limb abduction stretch. So again, you're going to flex it all up, keep it in a nice straight line, and just take it out from the midline and hold. And then take it back down. So with your stretching in between each one, you need to make sure that you return the limb to the floor. And you need to make sure the dog is standing square, and you need to make sure, for the example, for your exams, for example, you need to make sure that you've indicated that warm-up is necessary.